This is Lisa Thompson. I'm with Rookie Teens Burpees for breakfast. This is my bar. I have 15 and 15. And this is my rower, my concept tube rower. And I'm doing 26.3.
you're going to do pull-ups, give me 3 to 4, a couple of sets of 1 to 2 quick pull-ups. If you're going to need a band, let's get that set up. If you're going to do ring rows, no problem, pull out the rings, give me a couple of ring rows. Whatever variation of the pull-up you're going to use for today's workout, let's knock it out right now. In 3, 2, 1, and go. Nice. So here we got enough in, so we'll go ahead and rest and stretch it out. You can set the rig or stretch in here. The first thing we're going to do to stretch it out is get back on that rig. But I want you to have, we're going to do a dead hang to open up our shoulders a little bit more after just warming along with that pull-up stuff. But I want you to get a wider grip, almost like a snatch grip, right? Get a little bit wider, and I can just totally feel it pulling totally differently. So get a little wider grip, just to open up your lats a little more, open up your shoulders. I want you to do 2 to 3 dead hangs of 10 or more seconds. Really trying to open up. If you want to open your grip up a little wider each time, that'd be great. Just again, trying to hit your shoulder girdle with some different angles to get it to open up and feel good. Yep, just get nice and opened up. All right.
I think it's pretty much what we're doing, but it's doing calorie running.
Once you've gone through those, you can head back to your square. We'll do the rest of the stretch. The rest of the stretch won't really require us getting on the ground at all, so you don't necessarily need the mat. We can do the rest of the corner square. The next thing we're going to do is get into what I call that square squat. That's going to be getting my feet a little wider than the shoulder width, maybe where you're going to have your feet stay to receive that snatch. Full snatch certainly, right? A little wider. And from here, I'm going to drop into a nice squat, getting my elbows to drive my knees out. Getting my hands underneath my chin to keep everything nice and upright. Looks like I'm playing in here and just hang out there. Really want you to hang out there for a good 20 to 30 seconds. Before you stand up, shake it out, take a deep breath, and repeat 3 times. Just really trying to open up our hips, open everything up, and feel really good here. Don't forget our Olympic weightlifting club begins October 6th. According to this printout, we still have 2 spots remaining. I don't know if that just applies at this moment, but we'll try to designate 2 spots remaining. The Winter CrossFit Kids program starts October 7th. For those of you that have some kids that might want to jump in and have some fun. And then November 1st, we have our Fort Worth Fall Brawl, which, if you don't know, is open to all gyms to come in and compete with some of us up here. Looks like everybody's doing that. Good. All right. Let's grab that PVC pipe. And as usual, you're going to get that snatch grip. Okay? Snatch grip on that PVC pipe, and here you're going to do some fast throughs. Nice and slow, trying to keep our arms and elbows locked out. Nice, big fast throughs. I want you to give me 20 of these. gone through about 20 of those. We're going to do a big rotation with that PVC pipe. And you're going to give me 10 one way and 10 the other. Big rotations. Now once you get through those 10 each way, you're going to get that PVC in a nice overhead position and give me 10 overhead squats. For those of you that are going to snatch today, even if you're not going to snatch, you're going to, or at least pull snatch, you're going to power snatch and overhead squat it. So give me 10 good overhead squats. That PVC. Once you're done with those, you can either drop that PVC. Well, here's what it happens. We're going to get into our barbell progression. When we get into the barbell progression, you can either do the barbell progression with the PVC pipe or your barbell. That'll be up to you. I've been at this a long time, and I still occasionally warm up with just a PVC pipe instead of the barbell. Some mornings, depends on how I'm feeling. All right, so today's complex. You got 2 hang power snatch followed by 1 hang snatch, right? That's going to be 2 from the hang, 2 power snatches, boom, and then my last one from the hang, I'm going to go into a full snatch if I'm able to. If not, I will power snatch and overhead squat it again, right? So, what is it? Oh, all right, backwards, sorry. I'm going to check that. Anyway, sometimes the people write on whiteboards to get home, but I'll double check when we get there. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab either your PVC or your barbell. You're going to get to a high hang position. We're going to do that vertical warm up where I got my feet just underneath my hips. And from here, I'm going to get 5 this time. I want you to get 5 short, followed by 3 high pulls, followed by 3 muscle snatches. That's going to be a dip, drive straight up overhead into that overhead position. And then you can set that barbell down, or a PVC pipe, whatever you need. All right, we're going to do this morning. All right. For the next progression, we're going to cue you through. We're going to have you get the barbell into a high hang. I'm going to say to the knees. And from here, I'll say go. And we'll just give you a big high pull. Knees and go. Big high pull. Okay, when we're at that hang position, I really want you to think about, instead of when we get into the hang, I don't want you to think about bending over against the hang. All I want you to think about is pushing the hips back. All right? And I'm focused on, in this case, first, I'm going to look straight ahead, and I'm looking right at them, and I just push the hips back, right? And then I'm in the hang. I don't want to think about doing this, as much as I want to think about doing this. All right? Let's grab that barbell or that PVC into that high hang position. All right. And from here, let's go to the knees. And hold. As I scan the room, looking at everybody looks. Go ahead, push your knees back just a little bit. There we go, nice. And go, big high pull. Nice. Back to the high hang. And to the knees. Grab the screw up feet in just a little bit underneath our hips. Give those shins a little more vertical. Yeah, okay. And go, big high pull. Nice. Move up the high pull. Keep it nice and close to our chest, right? All the way up to our chin. One more time. To the knees. And go. Big high pull. Nice. Set it down. Now, we'll get into that high pull, right? I'm going to roll it straight up. I want to keep that barbell nice and close to my body. The further it gets out, that's when we see ourselves chasing it out. You see somebody, whether it's you or anybody else, and you see them take a step forward, right, and try to catch it, or you'll see somebody really out there, they're like literally chasing it down, right? That's because they pulled the further the barbell down here, right? Because now their body's like, I can't support that weight from back here. I need to get under it, and that's when you start trying to chase it down. So keep it nice and close. That way it finishes right over the top of us. All right, next progression. I'm going to get you back to the knees. We're all going to hang today. I'll stay to the knees and go. And from go, this time, I want a power snatch. All right? So let's get that barbell. And push your hips back to the knees. Nice, pretty big chest. There we go. And go. Nice. And relax. Return to the high hang. And to the knees. And go. Not bad. One more time. From that high hang. I should hit feet today, right? Focus on footwork today. We want to move our feet to the knees. And go. And relax. Nice. All right, we got one more progression to go through, and that'll be I'm going to say again, say to the knees. And when I say go, you will either do a full snatch, drop it underneath in a full receiving position for a full snatch, or you will again power snatch it and give me an overhead squat. And that's your two options for today's work. Okay? So again, I'll say to the knees and go. You will receive it in a full snatch or power snatch, overhead squat. All right? Let's grab that barbell one last time. Now, working on footwork today. Got to make sure we're moving up here, especially when you're receiving this in that full snatch. Your feet are going to want to move just a little bit wider into that squat position. Right? Open up your hips and rise up and drop down underneath. We'll make sure we're moving our feet like we need to. All right. To the head, to the knees. Sorry. And go. Nice, Lord, not bad. And stand one more time. And to the knees. And go. Nice. Let's do one more. You know what? I'll tell you what. I want you to give me one power snatch followed by one All right. Looks like everybody's good and warmed up. Thank you, Laura. My lovely assistant. Thank you. Class, what is that? Okay. Remember that. That's up me. All right. Somebody not ready to go hit our complex. All right. We have 5 steps, 90 seconds rest in between. You are trying to hang on for all 3 reps. That's how it's programmed. We are hanging on for all 3, right? So as soon as you start, we're going to establish the hang, go down